coming up from the Northeast Live Studios in Guwahati. Northeast Tonight with Wasbir Hussain.
Hello and welcome to Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. India's mega vaccination drive, viewers, against the COVID-19 has begun today with Prime Minister Narendra Modi launching it around 10:30 this morning with the hope that the country would be able to get the better of the deadly virus sooner than later. This is the moment that India has been waiting for. In fact, what India has kick-started today is actually the world's largest vaccination drive. The Northeast has joined the rest of the nation in this vaccination campaign, with the most populated state, Assam, setting a target of vaccinating 6,500 medical doctors and healthcare personnel by the end of day one today. The general refrain from the doctors and other health workers who took the vaccine in the region today is that it was absolutely safe and that they had not experienced any adverse reaction whatsoever. The same message that the vaccine was safe emerged from the chief ministers and other top political leaders from across the Northeast. It may take several months for India to vaccinate its entire population, with the first phase targeting 3 crore people. The Prime Minister hopes to take this figure up to 30 crore by the end of the second phase. Several questions arise. By when can India vaccinate its entire population? How easy or difficult could it be to vaccinate even those who are apprehensive about taking the vaccine? Now that the vaccination has begun, will people lower their guard and refrain from following the laid down preventive measures like wearing masks, etc.? To discuss this huge moment in India's medical history, I am joined by an esteemed panel tonight that includes both medical professionals, administrators, and vaccine recipients. I'll be joined from Manipur soon by Chief Minister N. BIREN Singh. In the studios with me is Dr. ACHYUT BAISHYA, Principal, Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. Dr. P. SHYAMSUNDER Singh, Director, Health and Family Welfare, Manipur, joins me live from Imphal. From Agartala, I am joined by Dr. SIDDHARTH SHIV JAISWAL, the Mission Director of the National Health Mission Tripura. In Shillong, I have Dr. PRITHWIS, BHATTACHARYA, Director NEIGRIHMS. And from Guwahati, I am joined by Dr. ABHIJEET SHARMA, the Superintendent of the Guwahati Medical College Hospital. I have several of the vaccine recipients on my panel tonight. But let me quickly go to a few other recipients of the vaccine in different parts of the Northeast. Let me go first to Dr. SUVAMOY CHAKRABORTY, the Medical Superintendent at NEIGRIHMS in Shillong. Dr. SUVAMOY CHAKRABORTY, welcome. Congratulations, you are among the first people in Shillong to have taken the vaccine today. How do you feel, Dr. SUVAMOY CHAKRABORTY, the Medical Superintendent at NEIGRIHMS?
I was quite excited that I will take the vaccine today, and I am grateful to the Government of India Health Department that for launching that COVID-19 vaccine today. And I was one of the beneficiaries to take the vaccine. And after the vaccine, I did not felt anything.
I'll have to leave you there. I'll come back to you, Dr. SUVAMOY CHAKRABORTY. Let me go to you in Tripura, Dr. JAISWAL, Dr. SIDDHARTH JAISWAL, the Mission Director, National Health Mission in Tripura. How did day one of the COVID vaccination drive go in Tripura? What has been your target for the day today? Dr. JAISWAL.
Today the vaccination has been launched. We had scheduled the vaccination at 17 sites in Tripura. By 3 o'clock, 50% of the target has been achieved. We had a target of 1400 vaccinations today. So the vaccination process has been smooth at all the centers. We had launched the program from town hall. There has been no reported adverse events following immunization, and the vaccination as such has happened smoothly throughout the centers for all the healthcare workers.
Okay, Dr. Jaiswal, were there any apprehensions among the recipients, and if so, how were you successful in removing such fears?
There is definitely some amount of apprehension about this vaccine, but we are trying our level best, and through you, I would like to pass on the message that this vaccination campaign is totally safe. The vaccine has been approved by the Government of India only after the reports, the safety reports and the immunogenic reports have been found to be all right.
Okay.
As we can see today, there has been no adverse events reported. So, through various platforms, we are trying to disseminate this message. We are trying to involve the newspapers, the cable channels, the local miking. We have involved few eminent personalities who have received the vaccination to speak about their experiences to the people. We have asked our Honorable Chief Minister today during the launch program.
Right.
He also sent some positive messages about it.
Right. Right. Okay. Hold your thoughts. I'm coming back to you, Dr. JAISWAL, the Mission Director of NHM in Tripura. Let me come to you, Dr. ACHYUT Bosho, the Principal of the Guwahati Medical College Hospital, actually the largest hospital in the entire northeastern region. You are a very busy man. Thank you so much for joining me in the studios on this momentous day in India's medical history, Dr. ACHYUT Bosho. You are yourself, you are among the recipients, among the first recipients of the COVID vaccine today. Dr. Bosho, how do you feel? What has the moment been like for you personally?
First of all, I feel proud and lucky to be the beneficiaries for this COVID vaccination program today. And today is the beginning of the massive mega vaccination drive, the largest vaccination drive of the world in India for the COVID vaccination. I am very much lucky to be a part of it, and I feel definitely happy that in the first batch of the vaccine, amongst our 100 doctors and paramedics who are the COVID warriors particularly, and including some eminent scientists, eminent doctors from our state, we could invite them, and they also was in a part of our first vaccination, and we are having this drive so smoothly today that we could cover 100 beneficiaries, and by 3:30 p.m. we could complete our 100 target coverage, and lucky enough that without any hiccup, without anything in this middle of this session exactly started after Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated a session all over India. Then our Honorable Health Minister was there in our session site. He also encouraged us with his encouraging words, and after that we started around 11:30, 11:45, and by 3:30 we could cover 100, and everybody is coming to the session, and they are all euphoric. That's okay.
Absolutely, everyone was euphoric. Are you feeling, briefly, are you feeling more confident today after you have taken the vaccine? And definitely. You have no adverse reaction at all?
No, because I took the vaccine around 11:45 to 12.
Yeah.
Then I was there only for 20 minutes. After that, I am busy for the whole day till now. But I am not feeling anything extra today that I have been vaccinated.
Okay, there you heard it from the man himself, the principal of Northeast India's largest hospital, the government-run hospital, the Guwahati Medical College Hospital, Dr. ACHYUT Bosho, a very, very experienced medical professional, saying that he took the vaccination and absolutely had no problem whatsoever. We were extremely busy during the day. I have a lot of eminent people in this panel tonight. Let me go to you, Dr. P. SHYAMSUNDER Singh in Imphal, the Director of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Manipur. Dr. SHYAMSUNDER Singh, Singh, how did day one of the vaccination drive go in Manipur? What do you have to say as your opening remarks? Are you a happy man today?
Indeed, sir. Indeed, I am very happy today that the response from the beneficiaries was overwhelming. And then, just to give an example, very senior doctors, eminent doctors, director of RIMS Imphal, he himself volunteered. And then after that, the biggest private hospital in the state, this is a hospital and research center. The managing director, Dr. Palin Singh, and the superintendent of that hospital, Dr. Jogendra Singh, they all volunteered. And then some of our chief medical officers at the district level also volunteered. And the target set for RIMS was achieved 100%, and then at the hospital 75% was achieved. And then in the districts it was a bit slow. However, the encouraging thing is that there has been no AEFI effect so far. The report I have here on the table shows that there has been no adverse effect so far. That is the most encouraging part of it. And then we believe that in the ensuing days of the vaccination, more and more people will come out, and then we'll easily achieve the target set.
Okay, that's promising to hear that. Very, very confident Director of Health and Family Welfare, Government of Manipur, saying that there was no adverse effect on any of the recipients in the state today. I'll come back to you for more. Let me go to you, Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma, the Superintendent of the Guwahati Medical College Hospital, joining me live from the hospital itself. Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma, you yourself, you are hit by COVID. So am I, of course. I am not as lucky as you to get the first dose of the COVID vaccine today. How do you feel? Are you a totally confident person, because you already may be having antibodies and now you have the vaccine as a double protection?
Feeling is awesome. I'm elated and as well as delighted that I've been given the first choice of getting the vaccine. And I'm really thankful to the nation, Government of India, to have developed a vaccine within 10 months. And they've done an immense, great job, the scientists. And I feel very much confident and would like to work more harder than what I used to do before.
Right. I'll come back. I'll go to Dr. PRITHWIS Bhattacharya, but I'll have to hold you, Dr. PRITHWIS Bhattacharya, because I am now joined by Mr. N. BIREN Singh, the Chief Minister of Manipur. Mr. N. BIREN Singh joins me live at this point in time from Imphal. Mr. BIREN Singh, welcome to Northeast Tonight. My question is, you have been leading the fight against COVID in Manipur. How do you feel today? The vaccine has come and the vaccination drive has actually begun.
Wasbir ji, first of all, I would like to thank and congratulate the Honorable Prime Ministers and the scientists and the researchers who made the vaccine and produce it as made in India. We're proud of it. And secondly, after the launching of the vaccination by the Honorable Prime Minister at 10:30 a.m. today, immediately after that, the state government also launched the vaccination at JAISWAL. And not only JAISWAL, in all 146 stations in the state where the vaccination has taken place. And even in the RIMS also, the director RIMS himself took the vaccine, and I'm really very happy, and I take it as a turning point, particularly in Manipur and generally in the India. Why I am calling it a turning point, just this COVID is a different kind of disease, different kind of virus. Even we cannot it is a totally a lesson to the human beings.
Right.
This is a big lesson because when somebody fell ill of the COVID-19, it might be my wife, beloved child, children, or father or mother. Even we cannot touch and we cannot help them. We cannot, this kind of virus infected pandemically in the world. So, but the India government, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, has made it a history, making 2 vaccines in one time. And as a first instance, 3 crores of Indian doctors, those who are in the front line, will be vaccinated. So it is a very, very happy moment of India. And for me also, we are very happy and we take it as a turning point.
So, Chief Minister and BIREN Singh there describing the vaccination drive as a turning point. Mr. Chief Minister, any idea by when you will be able to start vaccinating the general people in Manipur, and how long could the process take?
You see, as of now, we got 54,000 doses. And we are having the frontline warrior around 39,300 or something. So after this 54,000 doses, I think second batch will be sent from the Government of India, Health Ministry. After that only, we can extend to the general population. And for this, the first phase, we will fully vaccinate the healthcare personnel. Then we'll go to the, as per the guidelines of the Ministry of Health and the Home Ministry.
Right. Some people, Birenji, some people seems to be harboring fears about the vaccine. What would you like to tell them today?
That's the point. That is the point. Today also I explained and I clarified to all of the people of the state through media that this particular 2 vaccine is approved by the researchers and authority along with the scientists. If somebody want to criticize or comment, he or she has to be criticized with proof, with evidence. Scientifically, it has already proved that it is unharmed, it is approved for vaccinations to the humankind, to counter and to control this one COVID-19. So who we are to criticize? Who I am?
Absolutely.
I don't have any authority to criticize or to comment on this because scientists of this nation, the doctors of this nation, internationally approved and agreed. Then I think this question doesn't arise.
Absolutely correct. You are bang on there, Mr. Chief Minister. My final question to you as busy man. My final question to you, as the Chief Minister of Manipur, do you feel a lot more confident today after the vaccination drive has started?
Exactly, Hussain. Exactly. I got more confident because, to prevent COVID, we have struggled lots. Since the last 10, 11 months, 50,000 have brought back from the cosmopolitan cities of from Delhi, from Pune, using train. From Jiribam, just we do hire, buses. We accommodated them to different, the quarantine center. So many difficult part. The lockdown were totally without food. So we serve the food, we distribute the vegetables. So many hard time has gone and has spent and struggled. So I think after coming this vaccine, we got a good relief, and I wish that everything will be okay now.
Okay, that's Mr. N. Biren Singh, the Chief Minister of Manipur. Thank you very much for joining me on Northeast Tonight on a day like this when India
Thank you, Hussain ji.
has made. Thank you very much indeed. Let me go to you, Dr. Achyut Baisya. Mr. N. Biren Singh, the Chief Minister of Manipur, describing this as a turning point in the battle against COVID. Now, my question to you: you obviously agree that it's a turning point?
Definitely. Because when COVID started, we started the different meetings from the January itself, 2020. And just you feel that during the March from the Prime Minister's address to the nation for lockdown, first the Janata curfew, then lockdown. Then after that, till July in Guwahati, you see the situation. During the March and April, and people could not come to the road, and everything was stalled. And that fear, that pandemic fear, when we started the screening centers in Soruhojai, then we had the burn that till 2 a.m. of the night, we have to screen people. Till 3 a.m. of the night, we have to screen people. We have to leave the people from the hotel, quarantine. And these positive cases, negative cases, this contact tracing.
Right.
So that was a horrible time for everyone. And at the same time, everything was closed. So at that time, the fear was that there is no drug, there is no vaccine.
Yeah.
And today, we have 2 vaccines with us, and it has been started. So definitely,
It's come a huge relief.
Yes, it's a huge relief.
Huge
And
relief.
we have something to fight against the COVID. This last year we had nothing to fight. Only
Right.
the mask, sanitizer,
Right.
safe social distancing.
Yes.
Now
Yep.
we can build this
in a much more forceful manner.
manner.
I'll come to you, Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma. Let me go to Shillong, where I have Dr. PRITHWIS Bhattacharya, the Director of NEIGRIHMS. Dr. PRITHWIS Bhattacharya, welcome. Congratulations. You are also one of the recipients of the vaccines earlier today. How do you feel?
Well, I feel that, it's been, we were anxiously waiting for a vaccine, and it came, and we are very grateful to the government that they thought it fit to address it to the healthcare workers in the first place. We are hugely relieved that we can, now, with the next dose, come to work with greater renewed confidence and vigor.
Absolutely, renewed confidence and vigor. Is that the message sense you are getting, Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma, the Superintendent of the Guwahati Medical College Hospital? Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma, are you also getting the same confidence? Because, see, it's not the medical professional, it's not the doctors alone. The healthcare workers, grade 3 staff, grade 4 staff, they are also, the Safai Karmachari in your hospital. Some of them have also got the first shot. How do you feel? Do you think they were also equally excited? Do you think they were confident enough to come and take the vaccine?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of that. You know what, today we had 25 doctors and the rest, 75 of them were the healthcare providers. They were more happy than ever to come to us to get enrolled. And in fact, some people will be getting vaccinated on Monday, Tuesday, and they came today to ask us, sir, when is our turn coming? So that was very much positive vibe was there with all of them, and that feels good. And you feel that yes, by government doing a thing like this, has given a big positive note to the people, to these healthcare workers who would like to work more dedicatedly, even if we have any other waves of COVID coming back to us.
Absolutely.
So that's a very positive sign.
Absolutely. Let me turn once again to Agartala, to Dr. SHIV JAISWAL, the Mission Director, NHM Tripura. Dr. Jaiswal, you have heard the other panelists, you may have heard the other panelists talking about confidence. My question to you, as someone who has been directly and closely engaged in the fight against COVID in the state, do you also get a sense of confidence after the vaccination drive today, that has begun today?
Yes, definitely. After 10 long months, during we had gone through many ups and downs. Finally, today has been a very historic day when the launch has happened across the country. Definitely, this is going to boost the immunity of the community, and after a certain threshold is achieved, we'll be able to get some kind of herd immunity against this deadly virus. And as I said earlier, the safety profile of this vaccine has been very good across the country and also in our state. So this has definitely given us a confidence about the safety and the immunogenicity of this vaccine.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll go for a break, but before that, let me go to Imphal to Dr. P. SHYAMSUNDER SINGH. Dr. Singh, after Assam, it was Manipur that had the maximum number of cases. After Assam, it was Manipur, as far as Northeast is concerned, that had the maximum number of COVID cases. So, you all must have been eagerly waiting like everybody else for the vaccine. Now that the vaccine has started, what is your message to the people? Will you be able to bring the common people also equally excited to come and get the vaccine, or do you think there will be a section of people who will still go by rumors and continue with their apprehension about the vaccine?
Wasbir ji.
Yeah.
All hell broke loose last year, 2020, and there was no part of the world, there was no part of the country where this pandemic did not touch, and people's lives were totally changed, jeopardized. In fact, we had a feeling that civilization was being undone, and in fact, we were expecting, something like a Holocaust, like where people would be losing, lives in crores, not even in lakhs, the way things turned out to be at a time. However, those SOPs, three of which are very important: masks, use of masks, hand washing, and then physical distancing. Those three mantras came into to a great rescue for all people the world over. Now that we have the vaccine in our right under our noses, after hard work by scientists, researchers, and our subject expert committee of the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, after extensive research and then after putting a lot of efforts, have proved that this vaccine is safe and the benefits outweigh far more than the supposed AEFIs. There is no reason why people should not go for this vaccine.
Absolutely.
In fact, today I was looking for a chance to be vaccinated. But as things stand today, pre-registered beneficiaries, like everyone, I had to wait for my turn, which I believe will come up in the next 2 or 3 days' time. And today the beginning was also very good. Under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri BIREN Singh. It was a very good start indeed.
Absolutely.
And the way things stand today, as I said in the beginning, civilization was being undone last year, and then now we are coming back to normal life, almost normal life. Now, I believe that in the next few months' time, after the immunity against pandemic comes up.
That is absolutely a very strong statement by Dr. P. SHYAMSUNDER SINGH, the Director of Health and Family Welfare of Manipur. He said, civilization was undone almost last year, and now with this vaccine we are getting back on track. I'll go for a short break. When I come back, I will go to Dr. PRITHWIS Bhattacharya, I will come to Dr. ACHYUT BAISHYA and Dr. ABHIJEET SHARMA and ask them how well they are prepared to deal with the vaccination of the common masses. Now, of course, as we all know, it is the healthcare professionals and the health workers. Go for a short break. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Let me go once again to Dr. Prithwis Bhattacharya, the director of NEIGRIHMS in Shillong. Dr. Bhattacharya, now in this round, in the first phase, as we all know, it is only the medical doctors and the healthcare workers. But do you think it will be as smooth as it has been now? Because now the people who are coming forward to take the vaccines are all related to the health department. Now, when you start vaccinating the common people, do you think it will be as smooth? What additional steps you need to take by way of counseling and so on, if at all, during the phase when you will have to start vaccinating the common people?
Thank you for a very critical question. You see, there will be two things that will happen when we come to the general populace. They will have seen that the vaccination in the first phase has already happened and that people have not had adverse effect. And therefore, you'll find that the willingness to take it becomes easier, and the effect of the, the continuous thing in the social media, that effect will wear off. People will question that, well, nothing adverse is happening, so it will be easier. But still there will remain an effect of, this negative the comments continuously coming in the press, sometimes substantiated, sometimes unsubstantiated, usually unsubstantiated. So given that, we will have to continue with our follow through with counseling.
Absolutely. We in the media also has a great responsibility to play. As Dr. Bhattacharya said, we have to be very, very careful. Dr. Abhijeet Sharma, do you agree that, now in the first phase, if there is hardly any reports of adverse reaction, not only from the Northeast but from anywhere in the country, do you think, as Dr. Prithwis Bhattacharya has said, that things will become easier by the time you are ready to vaccinate the common masses?
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be very, people will see us, people will see that the doctors have got vaccinated, the frontline warriors have got vaccinated, there's no adverse reaction as such. That reluctance of not getting it, of not taking it, will really come down drastically. And more so, we have to keep in mind that our departments have to be more, we have to do some sort of counseling to these patients, to these local publics, so that that apprehension is not there,
right,
that taking this vaccine will have some adverse effects.
Now, Dr. Achyut Bhai, so, so many doctors around the world, take the case of including India, including a few of them in Assam as well, they have lost their lives in this battle against COVID while treating patients. They have risked their lives, and some of them who have survived COVID, even when they were patients themselves, they were inside the COVID wards, they started treating people. This has happened in Guwahati Medical College itself, in your hospital. Now the question is, now that the healthcare professionals and healthcare workers have got a shield, got some kind of a protection, do you think that they will be able to deal with this virus, they'll be able to treat people in a much more confident manner than what it was till yesterday?
Definitely. This is a big question actually, because I think in your media, in your news channel as well as in your print media, you have experienced that since April onwards, all the cases were asymptomatic, May almost asymptomatic. The symptomatic cases started from June onwards in Assam. Then when the symptomatic cases were in the hospital, so I think you saw in many of the newspapers that doctors are not examining. So lots of issues came out. Even complaints came that we are not being examined. And these things happen because at that time everybody had the apprehension, because the deaths were happening, because when you open the channel, then you will see the USA, you will see the Italy, people are dying in the road.
Yes.
So that was a fear. Even the doctors are also human being only. So at that time, except PPE, we had no protection. If somebody is getting this breach in the PPE, then you don't know the fate. So we lost around 5-6 doctors during this COVID war. Even some of the eminent personalities of Assam, one of my good friend and colleague working together, Dr. Panelists, he also suffered COVID, and later on he succumbed to this complication of the COVID.
Right.
So we are we are losing him in prematurely. So this type of things happen only due to this contamination of the cases, because he was a frontline worker for the COVID. And things are now, what will happen due to this COVID vaccination, this inner courage that I am protected.
I think
at that time that inner courage was not with the medical
inner
profession.
courage, I think it's a very important statement made by the principal of GMCH, Dr. BAISHYA, that the medical people, the professionals, health workers and the doctors will get an inner courage to deal with this issue. I'm coming to you, Dr. SHYAMSUNDER Singh, but let me go once again to Agartala, Dr. SIDDHARTH JAISWAL. People want to, I would just want to know for our viewers the extent of this whole campaign, the vaccination drive. How many healthcare personnel are involved in the vaccination drive, and by when do you think the population of Tripura could be covered by the vaccine? I asked the same question to the director in Imphal. Dr. Jaiswal, can you give us a sense, can you give us an idea?
We are having our vaccination in a phased manner. During the first phase, we will be immunizing healthcare workers and Anganwadi workers. So, during the first phase, we will be having 152 session sites. Each session site will be having 2 healthcare workers. Besides, there will be employees from the other department, like the police department, from the education department, from the PWD, from the social welfare department. So it is going to be a coordinated effort, and the DMs and collectors are the nodal officers at the district level to ensure this kind of coordination. So after the first phase is over, we are going to immunize our field level workers, and thereafter the general population. We are expecting, after immunizing 45,000 of healthcare workers, will be immunizing around 90,000 of field level workers, and thereafter around 9 lakh of general population. It is going to happen in a phased manner. As of now, nothing can be said about when the next phase vaccination will start. We are all dependent on the instructions which will be coming from the ministry.
Right. Dr. SHYAMSUNDER, Manipur, a lot of people followed, the government was very strict like the rest of the northeastern region in enforcing the COVID protocols and so on and so forth. But now, do you agree with Dr. PRITHWIS BHATTACHARYA that it will be easier for the population from the rural areas, because Manipur has the valley, Manipur has the hills, there are a lot of remote areas. So how difficult is this vaccination drive going to be logistically? Because you see, it has to be, a certain temperature has to be maintained, a certain protocols have to be followed. So how many of your people are trained in doing this? How are you going to carry the vaccines to the remotest villages?
Wasbir, we have 126 vaccine cold chain points, and we have 246 session sites already put in place, and we have 12 vaccine banks which are in really very good condition. And not only that, the government has kindly taken the steps to make sure that the vehicles are available in the best condition, so that they will perform the duties like all terrain vehicles. As far as cold chain is concerned, there is no breach in the chain. We are 100% sure that the transportation of the vaccine from the walk-in coolers from our stated quarters will be easily done and maintain the ideal temperature of 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius.
Right.
And we firmly believe that our state will be able to tackle the problem easily. And the people in particular, they really cooperate with the guidelines given by the government of Manipur. And the way things are coming up is all encouraging, and then there has so far been no side effects till this moment. And I believe that in the days to come, people will come out overwhelmingly, and then
Absolutely.
the mission will be a real
Absolutely.
success.
Absolutely.
And I firmly believe that, as I mentioned earlier some time back, we felt civilization was being done
Yeah.
gradually, but then now
Absolutely.
I think life is back into its full form, and then everyone will enjoy.
Right. And people of the northeastern region, we are happy to note, yes, we are proud to say, as you said, Dr. SHYAMSUNDER, that they have abided by, they have followed the protocols, and they have behaved as very responsible citizens. I'm coming back once again to Dr. ACHYUT Bosho and Dr. ABHIJEET Sharma, but once again, I'm going back to Dr. SUVAMOY Chakraborty. We are getting the line back with him. Dr. SUVAMOY Chakraborty, we are going to 2-3 recipients and quickly take their views today. Dr. SUVAMOY Chakraborty, the medical superintendent of NEIGRIHMS. Dr. SUVAMOY Chakraborty, you went to the vaccination center. Within 15 minutes, you took the shot and waited for 30 minutes at the waiting place. You did not experience any adverse reaction like most of the other recipients are saying.
Nothing, sir. Absolutely zero. Absolutely zero.
Okay. Okay. What was the vaccine you took? Was it Covishield or Covaxin?
It's a Covishield.
And Dr. Chakraborty, this is the first phase where only doctors and healthcare workers took the vaccine. Soon, the rest of the population will be vaccinated. What would you like to tell the people?
I think I should tell to my country people that they should come forward to receive the vaccine without any fear, any afraid, because I am the person today sitting, and I have taken the vaccine today, right? And till now I did not face any problem, right? Even I don't have any pain, nothing, and I am just continuing my office. So
Right.
my message to all my people, all my staff, please come forward, take the vaccine to protect yourself and to prevent the disease.
Right, Dr. SUVAMOY Chakraborty, thank you very much. Let's hear what Dr. Manoj Kumar Chaudhary, Additional Director of Medical Education, Assam, had to say after he took the vaccination this morning.
It's very fine. There is no problem in the vaccination, and I am proud that I have been one of the first group where Assam has started the program of vaccination against COVID-19. And I also request all public to come forward to take the vaccine. There is no fear factor. It is like the same vaccine that we take for other diseases also, and there is no adverse effect till now.
Okay, we also had spoken to Dr. Sandy Maren Aunok, who is the consultant head of the Department Critical Care at the Naga Hospital Authority in Kohima.
I'm the recipient of the first vaccine here at Naga Hospital. Almost about 25 minutes has passed. We are normally kept under observation for 30 minutes, and 25 minutes has passed and I'm feeling perfectly fine. This vaccine is a very safe vaccine. The reason being is, it is a killed vaccine. We call it a recombinant or a vaccine, which is cultured in the lab.
All right, we also, Notice Live had also spoken to Dr. Lal Muchauka, the medical superintendent of the Aizawl Civil Hospital in Mizoram. Let's listen in to what he had said.
I greatly welcome the vaccination, COVID-19 vaccination. So we eagerly wait for the vaccination. So I'm very happy that I could be the first one vaccinated in
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Doctor, let me go back to our panelists. Dr. PRITHWIS BHATTACHARYA, what does this indicate? We have so many vaccines around the world, and India today is also, we are proud to say that we have also produced an indigenous vaccine. Can you hear me, Dr. BHATTACHARYA?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, my question was, my question is, Dr. BHATTACHARYA, India is also has also made a vaccine, Covaxin. It's absolutely indigenously made, and we are among the countries that have turned producers of this vaccine at this critical juncture. So as a medical professional, along with the rest of us, what significance do you attach to this development, the indigenously made COVID vaccine?
Yes, this is very important now to share, because the hesitation of the population is totally based on this. Now, let us not forget that India has got extensive experience of vaccine development and manufacture over the years, and is one of the largest manufacturers and suppliers of vaccine in the world. In fact, 60% of the vaccines in the world are supplied by India.
Right.
So, which indicates that we have got a great depth of expertise, technical expertise, scientists who are capable of developing it, and therefore it is no surprise that we have come up with other indigenous vaccine.
Doctor,
and look at the confidence placed on India by countries like Argentina, Turkey, Brazil, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh. They want the vaccine from us.
so this is a great moment
So
for
we
us.
should be
This is a
happy, and the people should have confidence.
Absolutely. Dr. Abhijit Sharma, great moment for us. So many of the countries have expressed their confidence on India.
Yeah, that is the most important thing. Is India is one of the biggest nation of making vaccines. So, and we have the biggest, largest immunization, universal immunization program in the world. So our guys are well trained, our scientists are well time tested, drugs have been taken out, vaccines have been taken out. So I feel that there should be no reluctance or by anyone for taking these vaccines.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dr. SIDDHARTH Siv Jaiswal, how do you feel the homemade vaccine is also hitting the headlines? Forget about people who are creating controversies, but the fact remains that we have a vaccine of our own, and as the Prime Minister said today, that it is a real cause to be proud. This is the reason enough to be proud for each one of us as an Indian today. Dr. Siv Jaiswal.
It has been a great achievement for the scientific community and for our country as a whole, because in a very record time we have been able to produce this vaccine indigenously. That shows the resilience of our system. As such, India is the bulk producer of the vaccines which are being used for routine immunization. So this is a matter of great pride for us that we have achieved it in a record time, and we are implementing it.
Absolutely. I'm running short of time. Let me go for the final comments to Dr. SHYAMSUNDER. Dr. SHYAMSUNDER, what is the moral of the story? We had such a huge pandemic. Now we have also a homemade COVID vaccine. As the other panelists have said, that this reflects on India's growth as a medical superpower, because this is already acknowledged. Our medical capabilities have already been acknowledged. We have proved it a number of times in the past. The world takes us seriously as far as our medical expertise is concerned. Dr. SHYAMSUNDER.
Wasbir ji, मैं सिर्फ 4 point कहूँगा. I'll just strike 4 points. One thing is, normal life as we knew, those pre-COVID days, is coming back very fast. Number 2, the vaccine is purely our own Indian vaccine, of which we all are very proud. Number 3, the the dreaded and the main reason why people are very apprehensive about this vaccine was these adverse effects after the vaccination, which has not taken place, almost nil. As far as my state is concerned, today 595 people were vaccinated today, and not a single person has had this AEI effect till this moment. Therefore, this is a very, very, very glorifying moment for all of us. Not only as the Indians, I believe the world over, people the world over will be watching us, and then this is a leap of history which the world all over will learn from India. And I'm very, very proud to be just a small part of it, being in the system. And the last point, we must be very thankful to our leadership at the state level, at the national level, for taking such keen interest, for making everything possible for all of us to happen in this country.
Absolutely, Dr. Achyut Bosho, he is talking about the leadership. Look at the case of Assam. The Health Minister, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the Chief Minister, Mr. Sarbananda Sonowal, they have been leading from the front. You saw the Health Minister roaming around the entire state during the height of COVID. You see a Health Minister who is a non-medical professional entering with PPE kits into COVID centers. This is something absolutely rare. And do you think that has given the whole lot of confidence into which we have arrived at this position today, where your total COVID cases are in double digits only?
Definitely. And I feel I'm proud and to be the part of the team. And from the day one, from the February onwards, March onwards, I'm a part of the team of the COVID,
yes,
central team of the Assam. And really, it was my privilege also to be with him, since for any visit to any of the places, I think most of the places I visited with him, and how he guided us, how he,
right.
And you will not believe, then from the 23rd of the, no, it is not 23rd, it is I think 17th of the March. From the 17th of the March, I think we started the evening meeting.
Yes.
Until the Diwali, that's
it continued.
November, it continued.
So,
and we don't remember that we have returned home at before 10 p.m. at any day.
Absolutely.
So
that means
that was the big boost for us. He guided us, he led us, he directed us.
Absolutely.
So
no one can deny.
And that is our courage.
No one can deny the fact that Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, the Assam Health Minister, led from the front, and that has become some kind of a model for several other states. And no wonder that Union Home Minister Amit Shah, during his recent visit, had acknowledged the role of the Assam government in tackling, particularly the health department, in tackling COVID. Last words to you, Dr. Prithwis Bhattacharya, and then I'll go to Abhijeet Sharma for the last words. Dr. Prithwis Bhattacharya, final comment, 20 seconds.
I think the time has come that we are going to cross the pandemic and go into normal life, but with a new normal, vaccinated and with a mask, social distancing and hand hygiene.
That is very important.
This is the new normal, and we are going to cross the pandemic.
Basically, don't lower the guard. That is the message coming from Dr. Prithwis Bhattacharya. Abhijeet Sharma, final comments, 10 seconds to you.
Yeah, I say people should come out for vaccination. Everything is fine. By doing that, you are safe and you make the other people safe too. So
Absolutely.
Please come out and register yourself for vaccination.
Absolutely. We are all witness to a momentous moment in India's medical history. The vaccination drive, India leading the world's largest vaccination drive. The Northeast has been a part of it. But as the message from our panelists, very eminent panelists tonight, is that you may be vaccinated, but don't lower your guard. Keep with the basic protocols like wear a mask and continue with the hand hygiene, and everything is going to be under control only and only when you abide by the protocols. I thank all my panelists, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh of Manipur, and all the other panelists who are participating in the program, and the viewers for watching the show. Good night and goodbye.